Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Recently, one of you left a bunch of brilliant questions in the comment section about pursuing MBBS in Russia. If you are a NEET aspirant who is sick and tired of intense competition but you refuse to give up on your dream of becoming a doctor, this video is for you. We are going to cover everything from the language barrier and cultural shocks to the fees and truth about racism. Let's dive straight right in. A few of the clips that I originally recorded for this video were accidentally deleted, which is why I'm recording them again now. I'd actually filmed this before flying back from Russia, but I wasn't able to post it due to that issue. So let's start. The first question was, do you have to learn Russian to practice medicine there? How are you coping? I completely get your panic. Memorizing medical terms is hard enough without adding a foreign language. Here is the honest truth. Yes, you do need to learn Russian, but not for your medical books. You need Russian to survive daily life here, to buy groceries, to order a taxi, to read a restaurant menu, to order there. For that, the first 2 3 years, at least in my university, they actually teach you Russian. They start from the absolute basics, the alphabets, pronunciation, and essential daily phrases and words. Because my 15-day timeline to move here was super rushed. If you've seen my last video, you would know that. You can go check out that video. I didn't have months to prepare, but I still utilized every time, every spare hour before my flight and learned few basic words. I learned all the alphabets of Russian. I learned their pronunciation. I learned all the numbers, and I learned basic phrases like hi, how are you, thank you, and all those things. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. And honestly, those few words were super helpful. And the thing that was most helpful was learning the letters so that I could read everything. That helped a lot. And when the teachers taught me, it was easier for me to grasp on all the concepts. And the next question is, what about your classes? So here, your entire faculty is English medium. The professors speak English. Your exams are in English. Your textbooks are in English. The only time Russian truly matters academically is during hospital rotations because the patients obviously speak Russian. But your professors are always right there to translate and guide you. But if you plan to finish MBBS here and head back to India or move to another country for residency like US, UK, or UAE, then you just need basic conversational Russian to live comfortably. You can absolutely handle this. It's not that hard. Are the people there friendly or standoffish? How are the professors? Truthfully, the people here have been incredibly nice, kind, and helpful. In fact, I found them to be more outwardly helpful in public spaces than what I sometimes experience back home. Last summer, my mom came here to visit me, and we traveled to Moscow and St. Petersburg. Every single time, we asked the local for directions. They wouldn't just point it or tell us where to go. They would literally walk with us all the way to the bus stop, wait with us until the right bus arrived, and explain everything so clearly and so briefly. The professors here are just as sweet. Most of them truly understand that we are in a complete new country, thousands of miles away from home, coping with the freezing weather and homesickness. Because of this, they are often actually kinder to us international students than to the local Russian students. And they let a lot of small things slide here and there. Academically, they're top tier. Most of your professors in the later years are active practicing surgeons. They're extremely knowledgeable and eager to pass on their real world experience. Best of all, by the time you reach your core clinical years, the professors speak English very fluently. Have you ever experienced any racism or biasness? This is a massive question, and I want to be completely honest with you. Personally, I've never experienced racism here. I've never faced biasness or been treated differently at a grocery store or a SIM card shop or anywhere else. However, I heard stories from classmates, and I want to tell you a quick story that explains why context matters. I went to a mobile store with my classmate who needed to update his documents for his SIM card. Because of the language barrier, he wasn't understanding what the store employee was trying to tell him, but instead of being patient, he completely lost his civic sense and basic manners. He became loud and chaotic and disruptive. Look, if you lack basic manners and common respect, you will make people angry and annoyed, and then you might interpret their anger as biasness. But if you have basic civic sense, the people here are wonderfully. In fact, the chivalry and gentlemanly manners here are unmatched. When I travel by train or flight in Russia, Russian men will instantly come over and lift my heavy luggage for me without even asking and without expecting a single thing in return. Ironically, when I landed back in India, I had to travel intercity by train alone. Not a single person, not a single one offered to help. Even on public buses in Russia, I see guys who have clearly just finished an exhausting shift at work, but they refuse to sit down. If a seat empties, they will stand and insist that a girl takes their seat instead. The respect for women here is deeply ingrained. If you're wondering what it takes to physically get into a medical university here, it is actually very straightforward. First, you must qualify for NEET. Getting your basic passing score on NEET exam in India is absolutely necessary, it's mandatory. Once you have that, you will take the university's internal entrance exam. This exam covers the basics of biology, chemistry, and physics. Trust me, if you have spent any time preparing for NEET, this entrance exam will feel pretty easy. It is absolutely nothing to be scared of. You pass that and you are officially in. Now, the next question: how much are the tuition fee? Are there any scholarship? The main reason I chose Russia over India is the cost. The tuition fees here are incredibly low compared to the private medical colleges in India. When I was looking for options, the established private medical colleges in India were charging astronomical amounts. The newly opened ones had fees similar to Russia, but I still chose Russia. Why? Because newly opened colleges are a massive gamble. When choosing a medical college abroad, you cannot just look at the price tag. You have to verify their global recognition, or your degree will be completely useless. You must check the World Directory of Medical Schools (WDOMS) to ensure they are listed, their institutional accreditation with the World Federation for Medical Education (WFME), if they meet the unique licensing exam for your target country. For India, they must be recognized by the National Medical Commission, that is your NMC. For US, you need ECFMG sponsor note. For UK, they must meet the General Medical Council guidelines. Russian medical universities have decades of established global recognition that new private colleges simply don't have. Can you practice medicine in Russia? Will you return to India? Yes, you can absolutely practice medicine in Russia. In fact, the pathway is highly streamlined. After you complete your 6 year course, it is mandatory to take the Russian state licensing exam that is known as GOS. Once you pass that, you are legally eligible to practice as a doctor in Russia. As for me, I have mixed feelings right now. Sometimes I think about staying here for a year or two to practice and gain international clinical experience. Other times, I think about going back to India or targeting another country's licensing exam. If you do choose to stay and practice here, it's a fantastic option. You'll just need to commit to mastering the Russian language fluently. Choosing the right college in Russia can be absolute minefield, so I'm planning to make my very next video on a complete checklist on how to choose a Russian medical college and the red flags you must look out for. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button, drop your remaining questions in the comment box below, and subscribe so you do not miss any next videos. See you guys in the next one. Bye.